All right, Corteon Moore, what is going on? How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about this crazy season that we got coming out for everybody.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
indeed. First and foremost, your character, Ellis, man, the relationship between him and his dad, Boyd. Can you talk about the development from where it started in season one to
Yeah.
where it's at now in season three?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like sitting here today and talking about this, I haven't thought about it like this in a really long time, but I remember when we first met Ellis and Boyd, that was 2 years into us coming into the town, before the show had even began. So that was 2 years of like trauma and hate and resentment that was kind of building between the two of them. And a lot of people forget, but it started with him not even being allowed to go to the colony house. Like that was a strict rule that Donna and him had made on the account of, my well-being, which is very nice of them. But so to come from a place of like not speaking to one another and really truly he was hating his dad, like to now you fast forward to season three, he's the first person that Alice goes to when there is any sort of issue. And I think that's a really, really, really beautiful journey. And we see in episode 9 now as well, Boyd is coming to him and finally letting him know what's actually going on. Like nothing to do with the town, nothing to do with anybody else. This is just kind of like a man to man, father to son. Like, let me tell you what's going on so you can be here for me. I can be there for you type of thing. And I think that's really beautiful because you know, had they left a month or so after Abby was killed or Abby died, I guess, um, who knows? Maybe they never would have spoken to each other. So this town is kind of giving them this weird thing where it's like the worst thing that's ever happened to them, but then it's kind of flipping into this thing where they're probably getting closer now than they ever would have gotten in the real world. And I'm really excited to see how that continues to grow. And I really hope that we can actually see them completely and utterly just be there for each other. I think that would be really nice to see.
I would love to see that too. I'm a sucker for the father son stuff, and
Yeah, me too.
I think you do a great job in those moments, especially when you show your vulnerability to him. I think that is beautiful
Thank
to see. What would you say is the biggest misconception people have about Ellis?
you. There's a lot. I read a lot of shit online every day, and I gotta just tell people, look, I get what they say when Ellis is useless, look, I get it, but he's not concerned with a lot of the shit that all these other people are concerned with. Okay, he's not out here trying to decipher or go and burn the tunnels or all whatever these people want. He's a married man now, and he's trying to protect the love of his life. And his dad is sick. Like there's all this crazy shit going on. I think the biggest misconception is that he's just not doing anything. But he's like 21 years old. He has no idea what he's doing here. There's like 100 people in the town. Like, don't blame this one kid just because his dad is the leader. Like, I think that's so unfair. But at the same time, like I agree, Ellis should be using, his strength or whatever it may be to help people. But like this guy's broken his arm, he's been stabbed, he got a blood transfusion. He found out he's having a kid, and then he found out he wasn't having his kid. His mom is dead, and then now Kenny's parents, both of Kenny's parents die. Now all the attention's on him. Like, just give Ellis like a few days, maybe like one more season, and then he might start actually doing something. But yeah, people are on me every day online. I'm like, bro, just like chill. But
Listen, I hate to admit it, but I'm people. I'm people.
yeah, I
Like
know, I know. It's everybody, of course.
and let me just be clear, it's not an indictment on you.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously, like you're doing a great job performing. It's just I think that when we see all these characters doing all these things, we're like, okay, Ellis, how you gonna sit here and ask everybody else to take risks? And you just sit in
yeah.
the colony house drawing pictures.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Honestly, I'm people too. Like I watch the show and like I see things that I didn't really think about when we were shooting. I'm like, oh fuck, I should have said so. I should have been like, maybe I could like do something. But yeah,
Right.
I haven't done
So
anything. But nobody else is dealing with what I'm dealing with. Like
this is
that,
true.
that,
Yeah.
that, like Jade, even Jade to a certain extent until maybe the end, he starts seeing some craziness. But like, what's Sarah been doing? Like that's
Going
my
crazy.
yeah, exactly.
Going
So
crazy.
what? Like my wife is literally like shit's going down over here. So don't blame me.
What let me ask you this. What would you like to see your character get into? You want some hallucinations? You want to visit some ghosts? Like what do you want to
You
see
know,
Ellis go through?
I always had a theory that my painting was gonna come back somehow. Like
Mm.
you know how Victor's drawings kind of have like shown,
Hmm.
or memories, I guess. I was always wondering if maybe that I was like, I don't know if you saw it. I can't remember what, maybe it was, I think it was that show Heroes that came out like a long time ago. There was an artist that like would paint
Hmm.
and he wouldn't remember what he painted, but it was like it would tell the future. I would like to see something like that. Yeah, I think some sort of like deeper connection to the mystics, to the mystical side of the town would be cool. Either
Hmm.
that or like really just kind of arm up and like go to war. I've always had a vision of Ellis also being in the middle of the woods. I used to talk about this with Harold all the time, and he thought it was so stupid. But I always thought I was gonna go to the woods and have a bow and arrow, and I would like just be camping with the talisman, and I was just like sniping them out or something like that. I don't know how it would be. How I don't think it would actually work, but I want to see Ellis go kind of Rambo, and just like start taking out these nightmare creatures one by one. I think that'd
I
be really
would fully support that.
that would be so
Um, so clearly, episode 10, it stuff goes down.
yeah.
How do you think fans are going to feel when they get to the finale?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, I think when the cast found out that Jim was dying, I don't think anybody could believe it. Like he was essentially like the second lead of the show from the jump, or even in some ways they were interchangeable. Like they were always the central piece of the story was the Matthews family coming into town. Um, so I think the people are going to be really shocked. I think in some ways people are going to be excited because I think people are always excited when characters die in these types of shows, which is never, a testament to like people liking people or not liking them. I think it's more so just like that Game of Thrones effect of like anybody can go. And then that with, what do they call it? Storywalker Julie, which Storywalker is the coolest title that a person could ever have in their life. And then all that cherry on top with the man in the yellow suit, like that whole trifecta, I think it's really gonna blow people's minds and kind of hopefully give people enough of like there is this ever expanding world that will actually kind of tie things back and together, which is what the Storywalker's been doing. Julie, which is I think the coolest character in the show now. But yeah, I think people are gonna lose their minds, man, because it's definitely I think the biggest finale we've had. I think it's bigger than Tabitha leaving the town because people are more
Yeah.
concerned with what's going on inside than they are with what's going out. And so when Tabitha left, that was crazy, but people weren't necessarily concerned with what she was going to get up to. We were still like, we got all these people here. We got Victor and his broken memory. We've got Sarah with them talk. Like, we don't even know what's up with the Lake of Tears that Ethan keeps talking about. Like, there's a lot to unpack. And I think we finally have gotten to a place where it's like, okay, we have a bit of a path here.
No, that's so solid. And one other thing, because of what we find out in the finale, especially with Fatima and you Ellis has had his issues with Smiley in the past. How do you
Uh,
think Ellis is gonna feel when he finds out not only is he not
yo,
the daddy, but he kind of sort of gave birth to Smiley too?
yeah,
How do you think Ellis will deal with that?
I think I'm finally gonna get my Rambo moment that I've been waiting for.
Great.
I think at this point I'm gonna probably go up to Kenny and be like, "Yo, I heard you wanted to burn these down, so I think you got to partner with me because yeah, I think he's gonna be on go mode. I think he's gonna be pissed off, man. It's gonna be I hope. I hope. I think if there was ever a time for Ellis to want to go to war against the monsters, it's now. Like you really violated me and my wife. Like that's not good. That's not okay. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
And last question. Um, how did you feel when you guys found out about Julie was throwing the rope? Because I know you're a fan of the show, and fans have been asking for it since forever.
Yeah,
How did
that
you
that
feel
was
when you
like
found out?
that's one of the original questions. I mean, that was I remember talking to John, the writer and the creator, about it every day that, like, after, from the moment that we found out about it, because I was like, I think this is gonna be the thing that some of the fans are gonna love the most, because it's seemingly such a small detail. I remember when we read the scripts, and even all the way up until that episode, I think that was episode 2 of season 2. Even after that came out, I didn't realize, like, I didn't put that together that Martin wasn't able to do it. Like
Mm.
it was a detail that really went over my brain. So for the fact that there's such a small thing that may have been missed by me or other people that's now even coming into full circle, I think it's going to give the fans really a lot of comfort in knowing that everything is tied together, and even gave me some comfort being like, okay, shit, like we actually really are doing this thing. Like everything is tied in. Like the smallest moment from like season one is probably going to come back in season 4 or 5 or wherever we go. And it's really exciting to see, like, especially who knows, maybe we're all able to story walk. I don't know if I'm going to end up in the past or in the future, if somebody's going to, jump from this place to that place. But I think the rules are changing and we don't know yet who actually has a place in these new, landscapes of the town or whatever, because time is now a place that we can exist in, which is really crazy.
Dude, all of this stuff is blowing my mind. And yeah,
Yeah,
so but listen, thank you so much for your time.
of
Really,
course.
really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm enjoying your performance. You
Thank you,
guys are
man.
killing it. Continue doing great work, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
All
Good to see
right.
you.
If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out the next time I drop a video. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.